Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Teen Book Tuesday. My name is Lorie, and I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library. And today I'm going to tell you about some of the things that are coming out in 2021 as movies or TV shows that are based on young adult books. There's lots. Hollywood has ramped back up production, and there are a lot of things coming out. We're going to start with a TV series called Shadow and Bone, and it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original series, and it drops on April 23rd of this year, 2021. And it's based on 5 books by Leigh Bardugo, and it's the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone, the Grisha trilogy. And they take place in the Grishaverse, and the show is going to be called Shadow and Bone. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price. And no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart trender using her magic to survive the slums, and a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. So that's Shadow and Bone, and as I said, it's based on the 5. We have all 5 books, and Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are this duology, and then there's the Shadow and Bone trilogy. This happens to be the audio because the book is actually checked out. They're also all available as ebooks if you would prefer to read an ebook. So that's Shadow and Bone on Netflix. The next one is actually in development. There hasn't been a platform attached to it, but it is rumored to be an HBO Max original series. It's called, HBO original movie. The movie is called The Player's Table, but it is actually based on a book that just came out called They Wish They Were Us. The tagline is, "It's a miracle anyone gets out of high school alive." It's starring Halsey, the singer-songwriter, and Sydney Sweeney. In Gold Coast, Long Island, everything from the expensive downtown shops to the manicured beaches to the pressed uniforms of Jill Newman and her friends looks perfect. But as Jill found out 3 years ago, nothing is as it seems. Freshman year, Jill's best friend, the brilliant, dazzling Shayla Arnold, was killed by her boyfriend. After that dark night on the beach, Graham confessed the case was closed and Jill tried to move on. Now it's Jill's senior year and she's determined to make it her best. After all, she's a senior and a player, a member of the Gold Coast Prep's exclusive, not-so-secret society. Senior players have the best parties, the highest grades, and the admiration of the entire school. This is going to be Jill's year. She's sure of it. But when Jill starts getting texts proclaiming Graham's innocence, her dreams of the perfect senior year start to crumble. If Graham didn't kill Shayla, who did? Jill vows to find out, but digging deeper means putting her friendships and her future, and maybe her life, in jeopardy. It's going to be a mystery suspense movie, and the book is called They Wish They Were Us. The movie is going to be called The Players Club. All right, this one is already out. It's already dropped. It's on Netflix. It's called Moxie. And Amy Poehler read this book and she really liked it, so she snapped up the rights to it and made the movie. And she actually, Hadley Robinson plays the main character and Amy Poehler plays her mom. And this is Moxie Girls Fight Back. Vivian Carter is fed up with her small town Texas high school where the football team can do no wrong, fed up with sexist dress codes and hallway harassment. But most of all, Viv Carter is fed up with always following the rules. Viv's mom was a punk rock riot girl in the 90s, so now Viv takes a page from her mother's past and creates a feminist zine that she distributes anonymously to her classmates. She's just blowing off steam, but other girls respond. Pretty soon, Viv is forging friendships with young women across the divides of cliques and popularity rankings, and she realizes that what she has started is nothing short of a girl revolution. Moxie is a book and a movie about high school life that will make you want to riot. So that's Moxie, and it's already available on Netflix. This one is actually coming to Netflix. There isn't a solid date for it yet, but it has already debuted at a lot of the film festivals. The book is called Monster, and the show is called Monster as well. And it's based on this book by Walter Dean Myers. And this is the story of Steve, who he's got everything. His life is looking good. He's got everything to live for, everything to hope for, and then he's accused of murder. Sometimes I feel like I've walked into the middle of a movie. Maybe I can make my own movie. The film will be the story of my life. No, not my life, of this experience. I'll call it what the lady who is the prosecutor called me, Monster. Fade in, interior court. A guard sits at a desk behind Steve. Kathy O'Brien, Steve's lawyer, she's all business and she talks to Steve. O'Brien, let me make sure you understand what's going on. Both you and this King character are on trial for felony murder. Felony murder is as serious as it gets. When you're in court, you sit there and pay attention. You let the jury know that you think the case is as serious as they do. Steve, you think we're going to win? O'Brien, probably depends on what you mean by win. And this is Steve's story, and it's told through articles and journal diaries and court transcripts, and it's the story of Steve on trial for murder. And as I said, the movie is coming out on Netflix very soon. Okay, now for something completely different. This is a movie called Chaos Walking, which is actually the name of the series by Patrick Ness. He wrote the trilogy. We have all three of them. This is the first one. It's called The Knife of Letting Go. And as I said, it's Chaos Walking Book 1. And Prentice Town isn't like other towns. Everyone can hear everyone's thoughts in an overwhelming, never-ending stream of noise. But in a town where privacy is impossible, there is a secret so awful that Todd, still a month shy of being a man, must run for his life. But how do you escape when your pursuers can hear your every thought? It's nothing like anything I've ever read before. Patrick Ness tends to write books like that. It is a dystopian, fantasy, suspense, action, and I think the movie is going to be fabulous. The movie stars Tom Holland of Marvel fame and Daisy Ridley of Star Wars fame. So the movie will be called Chaos Walking. The first book is The Knife of Letting Go. The second is The Ask and the Answer, and the third is Monsters of Men. We have all three of them, and that's by Patrick Ness. This movie is coming out later this year. I don't have a date for it. I don't really have a whole lot of information. It's still listed as in production, but it's called Dear Zoe. And this is the author is Philip Beard. Philip Beard's stunning debut novel is 15-year-old Tess Denuzio's letter to her sister Zoe, lost to a hit-and-run driver on a day when it seems like nothing mattered but the tragedies playing out in New York and Washington. Take place on 9/11. Dear Zoe is a remarkable study of grief, adolescence, and healing with a pitch-perfect narrator who is at once sharp and naive, worried and self-centered, funny and heartbreakingly honest. Tess begins her letter to Zoe as a means of figuring out her own life, her place in the world. But the result is a novel of rare power and grace that tells us much about ours. And this is the story told as a letter, Dear Zoe, from her sister who survived 9/11. Jenny Han, Always and Forever Lara Jane. This is a series of books. It is delicious. It is fun and light and romantic and swoon-worthy. And it's also a trilogy of movies on Netflix. And now the third has come out. The books are called Always and Forever Lara Jean, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and P.S. I Still Love You. And they're light-hearted romances. They're just feel-good, happy ever after romances. Lara Jean is having the best senior year. and there's still so much to look forward to. A class trip to New York City, prom with her boyfriend Peter, beach week after graduation, her dad's wedding to Ms. Rothschild. Then she'll be off to college with Peter at a school close enough for her to come home and bake chocolate chip cookies on the weekends. Life couldn't be more perfect. At least that's what Lara Jean thinks, until she gets some unexpected news. Now the girl who dreads change must rethink all her plans. But when your heart and your head are saying two different things, which one should you listen to? If you're looking for something light and fun to read, this is the book for you. And like I said, there's a trilogy. We have all of them. That's Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. This one is a movie on Apple TV. It's an Apple TV original. It's called The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. 17-year-old Lenny Walker, bookworm and band geek, plays second clarinet and spends her time tucked safely and happily in the shadow of her fiery sister Bailey. But when Bailey dies abruptly, Lenny is catapulted to center stage of her own life, and despite her non-existent history with boys, suddenly finds herself struggling to balance two. Toby was Bailey's boyfriend. His grief mirrors Lenny's own. Joe is the new boy in town, a transplant from Paris whose nearly magical grin is matched only by his musical talent. For Lenny, they're the sun and the moon. One boy takes her out of her sorrow, the other comforts her in it. But just like their celestial counterparts, they can't collide without the whole world exploding. Just as much a celebration of love as it is a portrait of loss, Lenny's struggle to sort her own melody out of the noise around her is always honest, often hilarious, and ultimately unforgettable. And that is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. And that's a movie available on Apple TV. And finally, if scary is your thing, I've got a scary thing for you. This is going to be a Netflix movie in the fall, which is appropriate. It's called There's Someone in Your House by Stephanie Perkins. It's been almost a year since Makani Young came to live with her grandmother in landlocked Nebraska, and she's still adjusting to her new life and still haunted by her past in Hawaii. Then, one by one, the students of her small-town high school begin to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. As the terror grows closer and the hunt intensifies for the killer, Makani will be forced to confront her own dark secrets. This is a fresh take on a classic teen slasher. This is horror. This is a slasher book. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. And if you really like scary, she's got a new book coming out in August. It's called The Woods Are Always Watching, which is going to be another slasher psychological horror. So there you go. Stacks of books. They're all coming out as movies or shows on Netflix or Apple or unknown until a future date. If you saw something you're interested in, pop over to our website and put it on hold, or come into the library. We're open for limited hours. You can find those on our website as well. That's manliuslibrary.org. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Lorie, and I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library. You can find me here every Tuesday at 4 o'clock for more suggestions on teen reading, YA books, and other great teen bookish news. Have a great week. See you next time.